Hello everyone, this is Eric from Plus One to Gaming, and today we're going to talk about naming your characters. Before we get started, this is part one of an ongoing series on demystifying the character sheet. We're going to go in depth on every section of the character sheet and go into not just how it works, but I'll give some insights into how you can use them and bring life to your game. Starting in the top left corner with naming your character. If you're like me, you're constantly creating new characters. Some are fully fleshed out with backstories, motivations, and voices, and others are simply a concept. Moriarty from Sherlock, but a turtle. I have a stack of character sheets just collecting dust. When it comes to creating characters, one of the hardest parts for me is choosing a name. I want something that feels foreign, yet familiar, cool, but not edgelord, kind of just right. Also, if you're playing in the Adventurers League, you have the ability to change everything about your character as many times as you want until you hit level 5, except the name. Your class, subclass, race, really anything, but not your name. So make sure it's a good one. Before I get to the resources, I have a few tips. Consider your character's background. What region are they from? Are they from far away? Are they local? Are they upper class, middle, lower? What race are they? What class? What alignment? These things matter. Naming an orc fighter from the far north, Aramis, might sound a little off. The player's handbook gives a few suggestions of names for every race, but you absolutely do not have to stick to their suggestions. Be original. Don't use recognizable names like Dritz or Gandalf. This character is yours. Make sure the name is personal and something you're going to be comfortable using for potentially years. Think simple. You don't want to make your name hard to pronounce. Think of your table mates that are going to have to say this name over and over again. One way to get around an overly complicated name is by giving it a nickname. Side tip, if you have a complicated character name and don't give your character a nickname, your table mates will. Do not let them make this choice for you. Here are 3 resources, one of which is my personal strategy, you can use to help name your stack of RPG characters. Moving on to resource number 1. The sky is the limit, literally. Heavenly bodies are a great resource for character names. I feel like this works especially well for goodly aligned characters, but there are some cool neutral and evil names floating in the abyss above us. Rigel the Asmir Paladin, Sirius the Wolf Druid, Io, the Halfling Wizard. Stars, planets, moons, clusters. There's almost an endless supply of cool sounding names in the sky above. Resource number 2. Foreign languages are a treasure trove for exotic sounding names. Want a purple dragon knight from Cormyr? Look up a book of Polish baby names. Want a genie warlock from the deserts of Anauroch? Try some Arabic folklore. Is your barbarian a Dothraki ripoff? Mongolian names sound very cool and no one at your table has ever heard them. Bonus tip. The foreign words don't necessarily have to be names in their native language. They could be regular nouns, verbs, or really anything. Have a turtle monk, but don't want to name him after a Renaissance painter? Turtle warrior in native Hawaiian is Hanukoa. These can add a lot of flavor to your character. Depending on the vibe you want, choose a language, go to Google Translate, and start typing in character traits until it spits out something cool sounding. Resource number 3. My personal strategy for naming characters is to look up a list of popular drug names. They sound foreign but familiar, cool but not like they're trying to sound cool, and it's just funny enough to be amusing without being a total joke name. Crestor, the Totem Barbarian, fought valiantly alongside Plavix, the Hexblade Warlock. Their cleric, Bayer, did all he could to guide them into the light, but Zyzel the Bard wanted nothing to do with it. Final tip. Be observant of the world around you. Anything can be a resource for inspiration. Street names, music, geology, really anything. I keep a long list of names in my phone. I never have to think of a new name because I have an exhaustive list already. This is also helpful for GMing. You have an endless list of NPC names to pull from. I hope this helped you come up with a cool and original character name for your next adventurer. Please like and subscribe because it really does help the channel. Click the bell below because we're going to be putting out new content every week. Don't forget to sign up for our newsletter to get even more great content. You can listen to a podcast version of this show on all major podcast networks. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next time.